All right, after the final time, taking a month off, the DRL Summer Series is ready to put a last page turn on this 2024 season. Here, we have arrived into Fountain, Colorado, at the 1.06-mile Pikes Peak International Raceway for the penultimate round of the DRL Summer Series here in the year 2024 for the Aero Electronics 400. I'm Logan, excited to have you here with us for the 7th of 8 rounds of the DRL Summer Series. Pikes Peak, a racetrack that we did not go to last year, but returning to after 2 years. And what was an interesting one, Jordan Watt won here last time out. He has not been in the field since then. So we will see a new winner here at Pikes Peak, but will we see a new winner here on the season? Will it perhaps be our points leader, Reggie Fogelman, who is still yet to get a win? He starts from the 5th spot here today, but he has 159 points to his name on the back of 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s. The only race he did not finish top 10 was last time out at Watkins Glen, where we saw the surprise winner, Rogel Dorn, who ended up jumping 11 spots in the points as well. Dorn taking home that win in Watkins Glen. However, he does not start up front here today, so he's going to have to make his way from the back if he wants to win 2 in a row. Now, speaking of the points battle, I told you about Reggie Fogelman, his 159 points. It's going to be 19 points behind him that you find the only 2-time winner on the season, Leonard Kochmer, who also starts right behind him on the track here today in the 7th position. Kochmer, of course, winning the season opener at Coca-Cola and the 3rd race out at Texas. Then 28 points behind Drew Webb in the 3rd spot. Titan Nicholas is 4th, 30 points behind. Trinity Lee is 5th, starting on the outside pulled here today, 35 points behind. And Matthew Hubert, 37 points behind in the 6th spot, the Iowa winner. Now, those are all the guys that are within 1 race of Reggie Fogelman, and with it being the last race, they need Fogelman to have a bad run if any of them really want a good shot at it. The only one who doesn't need Fogelman to have an absolutely terrible day is Leonard Kochmer, as being 19 points back, he would have to win the race, and Fogelman would have to finish 10th if he wanted to take the points lead. But everyone else has a lot more ground to make up. So if Fogelman can get a good run today, he can put a clamp down on this championship stake and potentially avoid having to worry about Armored Digital, just as Bradley Ream did last year. But if Fogelman has a bad run and Kochmer can capitalize, it'll shake things up heading into the last round in Seattle, Washington. So still a very compelling championship battle to play out here over 38 laps at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Now, with that being said, I believe we should get these guys rolling off the pit lane here to get the Aero Electronics 400 started. And so it'll be Derek McLean in the 25 leading us away here at Pikes Peak for the first time this season. Then McLean will start on the pole. Alongside him, as I mentioned, Trinity Lee in the 2nd spot, 5th in points. Then we've got the 18 of Colin Bear and the 99 of Nathan Ormond rolling off on row number 2. Points leader Reggie Fogelman starts from the 5th position here today, alongside Bernardo de Oliveira. Then you got Leonard Kochmer and Matt Tuck making up row number 4. And Skylar Taylor and Angel Gutierrez are going to round out the top 10 here at Pikes Peak as we are heading through turn number 4. The pace car pulls off the pit road, and it's going to be in the hands of Derek McLean and Trinity Lee. Derek McLean leads the fields down towards the green flag here in this D-shaped oval, and we are green in the Aero Electronics 400. And it's going to be McLean comfortably leading lap number 1 here at Pikes Peak. As you can see, those laps go by real quickly. And it's going to be Colin Bear sliding into 2nd. Trinity Lee into the 3rd spot from the 2nd starting position. And then a battle between Nathan Ormond and Reggie Fogelman here for the 4th position. Fogelman's going to get a clamp on that one as he's trying to pull away from Leonard Kochmer, who's being put 3 wide outside. It's the worst-case scenario for the number 3 right now. He's fallen back right outside the top 10 already on lap number 3 of 38. 3 by 3 here. They got to be careful. You want to be on the inside lane to move up here at Pikes Peak. It is by far the dominant line, but it can get sketchy if you're 3 wide like this. Luckily, they've kept it clean so far. No contact or anything. No foul play. But out front. Oh, and we've got the 8 of Mikey Fox sitting on the pit road. Had a rough last few races. And it's going to be an early end to his day here at Pikes Peak as well. But as I was saying up front, Derek McLean, Colin Bear have a comfortable lead as they head down the backstretch here in lap number 4. Trinity Lee, Reggie Fogelman, and Nathan Ormond have made a gap away from Skylar Taylor in the 6th spot. And then here's Bradley Ream, who's been having an awful season trying to defend his championship so far. He's already out of championship contention, 86 points behind in that 11 car. A single top 10 on the season coming in the opener at Coca-Cola. To his credit, trying to make up whatever he can here at Pikes Peak today into that 6th spot. But searching for the lead, Colin Bear looking for a little bit of real estate to get under Derek McLean, but McLean is holding that bottom line down so far, and he's led all 5 laps of the Aero Electronics 400 so far. Nathan Ormond looking to make a move to the inside of Reggie Fogelman now. Couldn't make anything happen through turns 1 and 2 there. As it's single file throughout most of the top 10 here, all the way to the back of the top 10. We've got Rogel Dorn and Matt Tuck battling it out for, I believe this is the 11th spot. I see Angel Gutierrez here, Will Parrish, who has had by far the worst season out of anyone in the field. Only 48 points to his name through 6 races. He's had 4 straight finishes in the bottom 3, crashing out in almost all of those races. It has been a season to forget for Mr. Parrish here, trying to get to his teammate in the 25 at the front of the field. But, oh, Colin Bear is already on the access road coming down the pit lane. The 18, a catastrophic issue for here, as this is definitely an unscheduled pit stop. There's no reason to be pitting 7 laps into the race. From the 2nd position, Colin Bear, an awful break for him. And that's going to be the end of his contention here at Pikes Peak. But Derek McLean opens up an even bigger gap to 2nd place, who's now Trinity Lee in the 55. Still putting in a good shift here. Nathan Ormond in the 3rd spot has had a turnaround of form as of late. Reggie Fogelman still in the 4th spot. And then Ream move him into the top 5 now on lap number 9. As Bear pulls out of his pit box right away, so something happened there. I doubt this is a strategy play. It would certainly be an odd one because it traps him a lap down if a caution comes out, but we'll have to see. It looked like a quick pit stop at least for Bear, so should the rest of the field come down, it could play back into his favor. We'll just have to see. Derek McLean, half-second lead on Trinity Lee. The closest battle is for the 7th spot. Gutierrez to the inside of Skylar Taylor. Just got passed by Brian Webb as well, but 35, she's going to try and shut the door on Gutierrez to hold down the 7th spot, and is able to successfully do so. Rogel Dorn, last time out winner at Watkins Glen, up into the 9th spot. And then here's the 23 of Titan Nicholas. Darlington winner moving his way into the top 10 past Rodriguez now. Of course, Rodriguez, our winner at Minnesota. Couple of winners on the season so far. All sitting right here. Then Matt Tuck still holding on to the 12th spot as well. As we take a look back to the field, not too much going on. Only 2x2 in a couple spots. But, I mean, the racing here is certainly not pack racing at Pikes Peak, but it will still get interesting. There's still plenty of time. Only lap number 12 of 18. Or of 38, excuse me. Say that as I'm looking at the 18 of Colin Bear on the leaderboard there. A lap down in the 23rd position. Mikey Fox is out of the race. 9 laps down now. In the 8, he'll finish last on the day. But Derek McLean looking to take the Grand Slam, lead every single lap. And he's going to have help from behind him because Nathan Ormond's battling for the 2nd spot now to the inside of Trinity Lee. Looking for the runner-up position. Nathan Ormond still on the inside of Lee, who's not going to give up that spot quite so easily. She's got a little bit of a runoff turn number 2, but couldn't quite get the door shut on Nathan Ormond, and the 99 is going to try and go through, but that car is not gripping up on the inside, and they're still going to be side-by-side, coming off a forward to the finish line. Lee edged him out at the line there, as Fogelman and Ream are just spectators now. Nathan Ormond still working to the inside of Trinity Lee, but he can't get on the gas quick enough. And they are really slowing each other down now as they're trying to catch up to McLean. But this is certainly some good racing that we're watching here. Both drivers just dead even. Trinity Lee really putting in some good work on that outside lane. But her tires are going to have to give up at some point. You would think Nathan Ormond's got to have that dominant inside lane, but it's going to cause a battle to spark up behind him now as here comes Bradley Ream looking to the inside for fourth on Fogelman. But he couldn't quite make it. Ormond's now pulling ahead off of turn number 4, and it only took him 3 laps to finish that pass, but the 99 moved him to the second spot. They only lost 0.4 of a second in the process of doing that, which is a big number here around such a small track. It's only a little over a mile here at Pike's Peak. But Nathan Ormond's going to try and pull away now as Reggie Fogelman looks to the inside of Trinity Lee for the 3rd position now. Trying to get his 5th top 5 in 7 races for the number 5. He's in a good position to do that now as we're coming up on halfway here. 3 laps until halfway. But Reggie Fogelman going to make that pass. Oh, not quite. Lee is still there on his quarter panel. And the 55 is going to pull back even down the back straightaway. And here comes Bradley Ream looking 3 wide. Couldn't quite make that work, but he's going to push Fogelman into the corner. And the number 5 is going to clear as Trinity Lee continues her slow descent through the field. Just on that outside lane. It's just not holding up quite long enough for her there. However, she's still trying all she can to get back to the outside of Fogelman. It's just not there. And this has definitely allowed Ormond to pull away. He's putting down some fast laps now, pulling McLean back towards him. Derek McLean's lead down to 0.7 of a second that last time by, and we'll see what it is this time. Lap number 19 of 38. And the gap went down another 0.2 of a second. Ormond is really on a flyer here, putting down those qualifying laps, and the lead is a half second now as we come to halfway in the Aero Electronics 400. Derek McLean, Nathan Ormond, 1-2, but Reggie Fogelman and Bradley Ream now going to have some work to do if they want to catch back up to this lead battle here in 3rd and 4th. Brian Webb moving by the lead for the 5th position now. And this is worst case scenario to anyone except Reggie Fogelman in the championship battle. 3 wide back here. Rogel Dorn sending it on the inside of Gutierrez and Skylar Taylor. Titan Nicholas there looking to capitalize on this as well. They make it out of there alive. But a little more chaos going on in the back, the top 10 here. You see Nicholas, Rodriguez, and Taylor's going to drop all the way to the back of this group into the clutches of Nathan Stapleton there in the 88. But back in the 3rd spot, another battle. It's Ream to the inside of Fogelman now, lap number 21, and looking to make quicker work of it than Fogelman and Ormond were able to make. He's got to run to the inside of turn number 3, looking to clear off of 4. And there he goes. Ream's looking like he's got a good car here today in that 11 at Pike's Peak. But as I go back up to the leaders, that's when the gap stabilizes out to 3.5 Ormond, first lap he didn't close since he passed the 55 of Trinity Lee for the 2nd spot. And that tells me those tires are starting to wear out a little more. Derek McLean still led every single lap of this race from the pole. But Ormond is still trying to track him down in that 99. On lap number 23 of 38 now. 15 to go coming up this time by. Just trying to look for every single inch of track that he can. And it still looks like he's closing. McLean just hanging on for dear life right now. 15 laps to go in the Aero Electronics 400 at Pike's Peak. And it's just a battle between these 2 drivers. Ormond got another 10th there. And it's over a second back behind him to Bradley Ream in the 3rd spot. And these guys have all bunched up from 3rd to 6th, or in 7th, I should say. Rogel Dorn there, and then another big pack here. Back to around the 15th position. But it's just these top 2 right now, playing a game of cat and mouse. McLean looking to pull a little bit of time back here. He got 100th on Ormond that time. He's backing up these corners, though, and Ormond is trying to send it in there. Running a higher line, looking to get some clean air on his nose. Down the back straightaway. And he's still closing in ever so slightly on Derek McLean in the 25. You can see it, the gap's getting closer. McLean's going to pull back a little bit through the middle of the corner, though, and Still a car length between him and the 99. But Ormond is just sending it into these corners, and it's working. He's still closing up through turns 1 and 2. McLean is really struggling now in that set of corners. Ormond almost close enough to make a passing attempt. He's going to stay behind for now. Coming at 12 to go. Derek McLean pulling. He's slightly better through 3 and 4. Ormond is definitely better through 1 and 2. We'll have to see if he tries to send it this time. He breaks later, but he's still not quite to the back bumper of the 25. Ormond just sliding up the track a little bit now as Derek McLean keeps the inside in the middle of the corner. And McLean is just guarding that inside with all his life now, painting that white line, trying to keep the 99 of Ormond behind him. It is just half a car length the gap now. 11 to go. And Ormond's still not able to make up any ground on the inside lane anymore. And we're just waiting for a mistake from Derek McLean here to try and spice things up. Ormond is right there now. He could make a move if he wanted to. Staying patient, though, in the 99. He's got 10 miles to get this move done. On Derek McLean, who is still at every single lap here today at Pikes Peak. But it's not been easy for him. The gap is 1/10 of a second at the line last time, and Ormond is still right there, doing everything he possibly can to try and make a move in the inside. McLean is an excellent defensive driver, and he's putting on a showcase right now. But Ormond just needs one little slip up off of turn number 2 or turn number 4 if he can get a shot to the inside. We saw him duke it out with Trinity Lee earlier for the second spot. But this has proven to be a harder task than passing Trinity Lee. Derek McLean has no win on the season. He's just kind of midway through the points right now. Not even a top 5 to his name, so a win would be huge for the 25 to try and make something out of this season. His first Summer Series season. Ormond, not new to the series, he's trying to get it done. He won at Coca-Cola a couple years ago and under caution, but hasn't won anything since then, and it's been 1.5 years since that race. And he is still just not quite there to make the move. It's McLean. The gap that time at the line, 11 hundredths of a second. And it's just been fluctuating between 10 and 15 hundredths of a second these last couple laps. But back behind them, Bradley Ream hasn't been able to make up any ground. Brian Webb now to the inside. 3 wide. Rogel Dorn sending it again. The Watkins Glen winner has been really feisty here today. He wants the 4th spot. And they're putting Reggie Fogelman on that outside lane. He's going to fall back to 6th here. There's still 3 wide across the line. This is 2 seconds back of the leaders, more than 2 seconds now, but Dorn sticking it out in that inside lane. He has had a hard charge in the second half of this race up into the 4th spot now. Moving it past Brian Webb there. The leaders still nose to tail. Ormond made a mistake in the middle of the corner that time. He's going to lose some time here off of turn number 4, or maybe he's trying to set up a run on the 25 and get it in the right spot. 0.2 of a second at the line with 5 laps to go here at Pikes Peak. It's Derek McLean still holding on to the lead. He's led all 33 laps so far. And they're coming down the pit lane. Bradley Ream behind them. Everyone's going to come down here at some point. We shouldn't have another Matthew Hubert situation. These guys are pitting with long enough to go. But these pit stops could make or break the day for Derek McLean and Nathan Ormond. They make the long slog down the front stretch here on the pit road at Pikes Peak International. Ormond's pit box coming up first, but McLean is right there in front of him in the number 1 pit stall. They're going to have a view of the 25, and we're going to watch that stop. Is it going to be gas and go? Yes, it is for both of them. The 25 out first, but Ormond's got a big run off the lane. He's going to be blocked on the access road, and there's still going to be nose to tail coming out of the pit lane. You have to keep an eye on Angel Gutierrez out there. He's still on the track. Same thing with Nathan Stapleton, but they are going to come down and, whoa, watch this merge. It's a little bit dangerous as the access roads are all on the back straightaway, but everyone should be making it out okay. And there's McLean and Ormond racing into turn 1 and 2. Reggie Fogelman has made up a bunch of ground on them, looking to get in the 3rd spot now. And Rogel Dorn is merging out to the inside of McLean here. He's jumped all of them at the overcut. Contact from McLean. He's going to go way up the track. The overcut has worked for Rogel Dorn. He's made up 2 seconds on it. Coming to the white flag here, I believe it is. No, 2 laps to go for Rogel Dorn in the 14. Here at Pikes Peak, 2 laps, 2 miles. Trying to go 2 in a row. After he shocked the world with a win at Watkins Glen, and he shocked the world again with a win on pit strategy here at Pikes Peak. He's pulling away from Ormond now, who still can't make the pass on McLean for 2nd. And it's the same story we saw with him on Lee earlier in the race. You're just taking too long to pass the guy. White flag is out for Rogel Dorn here at Pikes Peak, and he's pulling away with it. He needs some terrible turn of luck to lose this race now, as Fogelman is getting all the points he can on the inside, powering his way to 2nd. All the grip on the inside lane for Reggie Fogelman. He's going to go flying past these 2, but he's not going to be close to the race win once again. It's going to be Rogel Dorn, the 2nd 2-time winner on the season, and he's going to do it back-to-back here in the Aero Electronics 400. Rogel Dorn takes the win at Pikes Peak. In a shocking pit stop turn of events, he stayed out a couple laps longer than the leaders, and it made a huge benefit for him. 2.5 second turnaround there for the 14, and he's going to win this race by a 2nd over Reggie Fogelman, who is going to finish 2nd place and all but secure this championship because Leonard Kochmer and Drew Webb are nowhere to be found in this running order. Kochmer was 14th and Webb was 20th. He might have just locked up the championship here. But I don't think he quite has lost enough points to Leonard Kochmer there. Having the win would have been huge for him. So he scores 36 points compared to Kochmer's 12, which is a gain of 24, and that's not going to be enough to officially lock up the championship for Reggie Fogelman, but it will be enough to all but guarantee him unless he crashes and Kochmer wins next week at Armory Digital to guarantee him the championship. But it's not officially settled here today, and we're just going to admire the work of Rogel Dorn instead, because what a pit stop that crew put in to get the job done here at Pikes Peak. Winning by 96 hundredths of a second over Reggie Fogelman. Derek McLean, who led 34 straight laps from the start of the race from the pole, he will come home 3rd after trying to fight off Nathan Ormond to make a run back to the leader. He never could, and still his best finish of the season by far, but just what could have been there for Derek McLean here. Nathan Ormond, the same for him. He was hounding McLean the entire last 15 laps of the race. He's going to come home with a 4th place finish here today. Brian Webb will round out the top 5. Then it's Angel Gutierrez, Bradley Ream, Trinity Lee, Nathan Stapleton, and Zachary Fitzwater completing the top 10 here. Mikey Fox had that gearbox issue, and Colin Bear, who came down the pit road from 2nd early on, still finished a while back from the leaders and still ended up in the 23rd spot. So a rough break for the 18. Not sure what the deal was on that pit stop, making it so early, but it did not pay off. And pit strategy paid off for Rogel Dorn, though. And luckily it wasn't a fuel mileage finish like it was at Iowa. This was just still a straight-up race, but what a race from the start to the finish to the Ormond-McLean battle, and Dorn merging out to the inside of McLean to steal the lead away and ended up stealing this win. Major props to the 14 there. And that'll do it from me here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Thank you for watching, and we're down to the points after 7 out of 8 rounds of the DRL Summer Series. We'll see you at Armory Digital to settle this championship.